Have you ever had that specific sinking feeling where you're watching people walk into a store, let's say it's a boutique you own,
Hmm.
they browse around for 5 minutes, maybe touch a sweater, look at a price tag, and then just walk out the door?
Oh, it is painful just to visualize. It's the fandom customer.
Right. And in the physical world, you at least see them leave, you might even try to catch them. But imagine that happening thousands of times a day, completely silently. Because if you have a website that is exactly what is happening right now, you have these window shoppers, they visit, they look, they leave.
And they don't tell you why.
Exactly. And the worst part is most of them never come back. It's like trying to fill a bucket that has a massive hole in the bottom.
It really is the single most frustrating reality of digital business. I mean, you spend all this energy and probably a lot of money on ads or content just getting traffic to your site.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have a specific mechanism to catch them, they are gone forever.
Poof. Gone.
Right. It essentially becomes a vanity metric at that point.
Yeah.
You have quote-unquote traffic, but you don't have an actual business.
So naturally, this is the question that keeps business owners up at night. How do we stop the leak? How do we turn those casual glancers into actual buyers without standing over their shoulder and being annoying?
Which nobody wants.
Right. So today we are answering that with a concept that sounds a little sci-fi, honestly, but is actually incredibly practical. We are doing a deep dive into the invisible selling machine.
It does sound a bit like a supervillain plot, doesn't it? Behold my invisible selling machine.
It totally does. But the source material today comes from Ryan Deiss. If
Great.
you're in the marketing world, you already know that name. He is basically a legend in the digital space, the founder of Digital Marketer.
Oh, real pioneer.
Yeah, he wrote this book, The Invisible Selling Machine, after years of testing what actually works and revolutionizing how small businesses use email. And his whole thesis is fascinating because he argues that you shouldn't be manually chasing every customer. You should build a system, an automated engine that sells for you even while you sleep.
And that while you sleep part is the ultimate hook, right? But what I found most fascinating in reviewing this material is that even though Dias is talking about automation and machines and email sequences, the core of his argument isn't actually about technology at all. It's about psychology.
That's what I found so interesting, too. I went in expecting a technical manual on how to set up an SMTP server or something dry like that.
Like a bunch of code.
Exactly. But instead, I got a lesson on human relationships.
Precisely. Because at the end of the day, an email address represents a person, a real human being with anxieties, needs, and a very, very limited attention span. Dice focuses on two main metrics here that sound technical but are deeply human.
Conversion rate and customer lifetime value.
Yes. Conversion rate, which is just turning a looker into a buyer, and
Right.
customer lifetime value, which is turning that buyer into a loyal repeat customer. But you can't improve those numbers with just software. You improve them by mimicking how real human relationships develop.
Okay, let's unpack this, because Dice breaks this machine down into 4 phases or principles. And he's very strict about this. If you mess up the order, the whole machine breaks. You cannot skip to the end.
Right. It's like baking a cake. You can't frost it before you bake it.
So let's start with phase 1. And I have to say, the name of this phase gave me pause. He calls it indoctrination.
I know. It is a very loaded word.
It sounds like we're starting a cult in a basement somewhere.
It does, but in the context of the book, he's using it quite literally. It means to introduce a set of beliefs or a specific perspective. Think of it less like brainwashing and more like a welcome mat.
A digital welcome mat.
Exactly. This is the exact moment someone first gives you their email address. Maybe they signed up for a newsletter, or they downloaded a free PDF, or they signed up for a free trial. The indoctrination phase is simply you introducing yourself and setting the ground rules.
And this is where Dice says most businesses fail immediately right out of the gate. They get the email and they go straight for the jugular.
Yes, the buy now mistake. It is the cardinal sin of email marketing. Imagine you walk into a dinner party. You don't know the host. You've just walked through the door, you haven't even taken your coat off, and the host runs up to you, grabs your hand, and says, "Hey, want to buy some life insurance?"
I'm turning around, grabbing my coat and walking out.
Instantly.
Yeah.
It's creepy and it's aggressive. But that is what businesses do every single day. You sign up for a list, and the very first email you get is a giant banner for a 20% off sale or a screaming demand to upgrade to premium. It kills trust before it even has a chance to breathe.
Because trust is the currency here.
Exactly. Trust is the currency of modern business. People buy from people and brands that they like and understand. Leading with a price tag just obliterates that trust.
So if we're not supposed to sell right away, what does the invisible selling machine suggest we do instead?
You build a relationship. You establish who you are and what you stand for. Dace uses a great example of a SaaS company, software as a service. Let's say they sell a project management tool for small teams.
Okay, so I sign up for the free trial. I'm interested, but I'm not committed yet.
Right. You're just testing the waters. The bad approach is an automated email 5 minutes later saying, your trial's ending soon. Give us money. That's panic-inducing.
Yeah, I hate that.
The good approach, the indoctrination approach, is a personal email from the founder.
Like hey, I'm Dave. I built this kind of vibe.
Exactly that. Hi, I'm Dave. I built this tool because I was sick of missing deadlines and I wanted a better way. Here is what you can expect from me. Here are my values. I'm not just a faceless corporation. I'm a guy who cares about productivity just like you.
It changes the dynamic completely. Suddenly, I'm not buying a piece of nameless software. I'm supporting Dave.
And crucially, you're setting expectations. You're telling them, I'm going to email you twice a week, and here is the value you'll get. If you skip this, you're just another spammer in their inbox. And the consequence is that you get ignored, marked as spam, and the lead forgets you within 3 days.
You really have to earn the right to sell.
You absolutely do.
I love that phrase. Earn the right to sell. It implies that attention is a currency you haven't earned yet. So let's say we've done that. We've sent the nice welcome email. We've indoctrinated them into our world. They know us. They like us. But we are running a business. We do need to make money eventually. We can't just be pen pals.
We do. And that leads us to principle 2, which is engagement. Or as I like to think of it, getting the first yes.
This is about moving them from a passive reader to an active buyer.
Correct. And this is the hardest hurdle in all of business. The psychological gap between I like your free content and I will actually pull out my wallet and give you my credit card information is massive. It's the Grand Canyon.
Even if it's just for $1.
Even for $1, because once money changes hands, the relationship changes fundamentally. You go from being an observer to being a customer. That requires a huge mental leap.
So how do we bridge that gap? How do we get them to jump across the canyon without scaring them off?
You lower the bar. You use a strategy based on a low-risk offer.
Yeah.
It has to be a tiny step forward, not a giant leap. Dice calls this a tripwire.
He uses a dating analogy here that I thought was perfect. It really clicked for me when I read it.
It clarifies things instantly. If the indoctrination phase is introducing yourself at a coffee shop, the engagement phase is asking for a first date. You don't ask for marriage.
Right. Asking for the big $500 sale right away is asking for marriage on the first date.
It scares people away. It is too much commitment, too much risk, too soon. You need a small, low-risk interaction to prove that you're safe, reliable, and worth their time.
Can we look at the education example from the source material? I think that really paints the picture of how this works in practice for a typical business.
Sure. So imagine an online business that sells a comprehensive photography course. It's their big flagship product. It teaches you everything about cameras, lighting, editing, the works. And it costs $500.
Okay, big investment. I'm not going to drop $500 unless I'm really, really sure.
Exactly. If you ask for that $500 immediately after someone signs up, the answer is almost always going to be no. They don't know if your course is good. They don't know if your audio quality is terrible. The risk is all on them.
So what's the engagement offer? What's the coffee date?
You offer a tiny slice of value, a lighting basics cheat sheet, or a guide to golden hour photography for $7.
$7? That's practically nothing. That's less than a sandwich these days.
Exactly. And that is the entire point. The logic here is that it's cheap, it solves a very specific problem, and it trains the customer. When someone takes out their wallet and pays you $7, two things happen. One, they get a solution. But two, and more importantly, they realize, hey, this company delivered. The payment process was secure. The content was actually high quality.
They learn to trust your process.
You've broken the seal. The relationship is fundamentally shifted. And once they've said yes to the small thing, they're exponentially more likely to say yes to the big thing later. You've removed the fear.
That makes so much sense. It's about momentum. You get the little yes, then the medium yes, which naturally brings us to principle 3. Because as we said, we can't survive on $7 guides forever. You'd need millions of customers to keep the lights on.
No, you'd go broke fast. Principle 3 is ascension. This is where the machine starts to actually multiply the value and generate real profit.
Ascension. Like climbing a ladder.
Yes, the value ladder.
Yeah.
The concept is straightforward. If they bought the small thing, offer the medium thing. If they bought the medium thing, offer the big thing. You are guiding them up to more and more value.
Why is this step so critical? Why not just be happy with the new customer and hope they eventually wander back to your store?
Because the business case is clear. Finding new customers is incredibly expensive and hard. You have to pay for ads, marketing content. It costs a lot to get someone to that first $7 sale. But selling more to existing happy customers, that is easy and cheap.
So this is where the actual margin is.
This is where the real profit happens. If you ignore Ascension, you leave massive amounts of money on the table. Your business stays small because you are fundamentally limited to one sale per person. You're constantly hunting for new people, which is exhausting.
The e-commerce coffee example in the notes was really good for illustrating this. It showed how logical it can be without feeling pushy.
Right. Think about a shop selling specialty coffee gear. Let's say a customer buys a premium coffee grinder. That purchase is the trigger event.
Okay, they bought the expensive grinder. What happens next in the machine?
The automation kicks in. The machine waits maybe 3 days long enough for the grinder to arrive in the mail. Then they get an automated email. Hey, hope you're loving the new grinder. Did you know that the grind matters, but the bean matters more? Here are our top-rated espresso beans.
It's so completely logical. Of course I need beans. I just bought a grinder.
Exactly. They have proven they want good coffee. The beans are the logical next step. You aren't forcing something irrelevant on them. You are providing exactly what they need right when they need it.
And if you didn't send that automated email...
They had to go buy beans at the grocery store.
Yeah.
You would lose that sale. And you'd lose the chance to turn them into a loyal subscriber who buys beans from you every single month. You leave money on the table simply because you didn't ask.
It's amazing how we assume people will just organically find all our products, but really we need to guide them.
We absolutely have to lead them by the hand. Ascension is just you saying if you liked that you're going to love this.
Okay, so we've welcomed them with indoctrination.
Mm-hmm.
We've gotten the first small sale with engagement, and we've upsold them to higher value products with Ascension. But there's a trap here, isn't there?
Yeah.
Because as your list grows, you have all these different types of people, and if you start treating them all exactly the same...
You run headfirst into the problem addressed in Principle 4, which is segmentation.
Right. The getting the right message to the right person rule.
It's really the refuse to be lazy rule.
Mm.
Segmentation is defining that you will not treat every subscriber the same way.
We've all been on the receiving end of this failing. I
Mhm.
get emails sometimes for things that are completely, utterly irrelevant to me, and it's annoying.
It's incredibly annoying, and it trains you to ignore that sender. Blasting the exact same message to everyone burns a business's most valuable asset out of pure laziness. If I send you an email about cat food and you own a dog, you're going to delete it. If I do it again, you're going to unsubscribe. Relevancy is king.
So how does the invisible selling machine handle this? How do we know what they want without interviewing every single customer one by one?
You ask your list what they want. It's surprisingly simple. And then you only send that specific content.
Give us an example of how that strategy plays out in real life.
Let's look at the health coaching example from the source. Imagine you run a health and wellness business. You have a big email list of fitness enthusiasts. You shouldn't send the exact same workout tips to everyone.
Right, because my goals might be vastly different from yours.
Exactly. So the tactic is you send an email asking a simple question. Are you trying to lose weight or build muscle? And you have 2 links. Link A is for losing weight. Link B is for building muscle.
And when I click one of those links,
The system tags you in the background based on what you clicked. If you click build muscle, you are tagged as a muscle builder. From that second on, the machine only sends you muscle-building content. Hypertrophy, protein intake, heavy lifting. You never see a weight loss email again.
that must feel like magic for the customer.
The feeling is that the business is literally reading their mind. Wow, everything they send me is exactly what I need right now. That creates intense loyalty. If customers feel understood, they buy. If they receive irrelevant offers, they get annoyed and leave.
It really highlights that this entire system isn't just about automating sales. It's about automating listening.
That is a beautiful way to put it. You are using technology to listen to what your customer wants and then deliver it at massive scale.
So we've got the 4 core principles: indoctrination, engagement ascension, and segmentation. But I know our listeners, you want to do something right now. You want a quick win. You don't want to spend 6 months coding a complex software system.
And Dice provides a brilliant practical application for this. You can literally start it today.
The 10-minute fix.
Yes.
I love this transition from theory to immediate action because you don't need to buy new software. You don't need to hire a consultant. You can do this exercise in 10 minutes right after you finish listening to this deep dive.
You can do it on your phone while you're standing in line for coffee.
So what's the task?
We are going to fix your welcome experience, that indoctrination phase we talked about. The very first message a new contact receives via email or even WhatsApp.
Because statistically, that welcome message is the most open message you will ever send, right?
Exactly. It has almost 100% attention because they literally just ask for it. And most businesses waste it completely. So step 1 and step 2, go to your auto reply tool or your email marketing software and look at the very first message sent to a new lead. Open it up and read it.
And look at it honestly.
Right. Does it try to sell immediately? Is it totally cold? Is it just a robotic confirmation receipt that says, thank you for subscribing, here is your code?
If it is, then we move to step 3, which is the rewrite.
Yes. Use the simple structure from the source material. It's just 3 lines. First, say hi and welcome. Be a human being. Second, write one single sentence on who you are. I'm the founder, or we are a small team of coffee lovers. Third, write one sentence on the value you will provide to them in the future. I'm going to send you weekly tips on how to brew better coffee.
Simple, clean, and human. And then the final step, which I think might actually be the most important part of this whole fix.
Step 4 is the purge. Explicitly manually remove any aggressive sales pitches from this specific message. Take out the big red Buy Now button. Take out the book A Call Today demand.
It feels a little risky to take the sales pitch out, doesn't it? It feels like as a business owner, you're losing an opportunity to make a buck.
It feels incredibly counterintuitive. But remember the dating analogy. You are just saying hello. You are establishing trust. By purging the aggressive sales pitch, you have built a proper welcome mat, and you are building trust automatically.
And if you do this, your open rates for the next email, the one where you might actually offer that $7 tripwire, will be so much better.
They will skyrocket because the customer actually wants to open it. They don't dread hearing from you because you haven't burned them yet.
I love that. It's actionable, it's fast, and it sets the proper tone for everything else your machine will do. So looking at the big picture here, the invisible selling machine, it's not about tricking people into buying things they don't want. It's not about spamming people until they submit.
Not at all.
Yeah.
To recap the core philosophy here, it's simply this. Stop blasting random emails. Start building an automated journey that guides the customers safely, from stranger to friend, to buyer, to loyal fan.
That's the lifestyle benefit of all this, right? That's the invisible part of the machine.
That is the ultimate goal. Remind yourself that the goal isn't to work 24 hours a day manually replying to leads and hustling for every single dollar. The goal is to build a system that works when you aren't looking.
So you can actually have a life.
Exactly. It's knowing that while you're having dinner with your family or sleeping or creating a brand new product, there is a machine running in the background perfectly executing your strategy. It's welcoming new people, it's offering them that low-risk guide, it's upselling the coffee beans, and it's segmenting the list so the muscle builders aren't getting weight loss tips.
It allows you to be a true business owner, not just a frantic, exhausted salesperson.
It decouples your time from your revenue.
That is such a powerful place to end our analysis. But before we wrap up this deep dive, we always like to leave you with a provocative thought, something for you to mull over or explore on your own that builds on what we've discussed today.
Right. And based on the source's closing thoughts, it all comes back to that first yes, that engagement phase with the low-risk offer.
Because that is usually a biggest sticking point for most businesses. They have the free content like a blog or a social media page, and they have their expensive core product, but they have absolutely nothing in the middle to bridge the gap.
Right. There is no stepping stone. So here is the question for you to brainstorm right now. What is the specific low-risk offer for your specific business that could get that difficult first yes?
What is that tiny sliver of value?
Is it a $7 checklist? Is it a small physical sample? A mini video guide? Think about what your customer needs right before they are ready to buy your main product.
Because if you can figure out that one specific piece, you have the key to unlocking the entire machine.
It's the engine that makes the whole thing run.
Definitely something to ponder as you look at your own business. Thanks for going on this deep dive with us. We will catch you on the next one.